And welcome into a Tuesday edition of the Backstage Pass, always live and in living color here, of course, on our YouTube channel, the Backstage Pass, and Facebook at the tag Backstage Pass 409. Brandon Morrill here flying solo. Our thanks yesterday goes out to Nashville recording artist David Nail. He joined us on the program yesterday. If you missed that interview, it is up on the Facebook page. And of course, back from that vacation, I enjoyed Arizona there last week. I was out there for spring training for a lot of baseball and got to see the Texas Rangers and just have a lot of fun out there, too. We're presented by our good friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. If you haven't checked them out, bangtail.com is a place to go, or easyliquor.com to get that bottle sent directly to your door. Also, MitchMacs.com and our good friends over at Hank Jr. Productions. And I'll tell you what, got some good stuff today. I love doing giveaways here on the show. It's always fun. And so our good friends at Full Circle Moments, along with Center Stage Magazine, Enabler Entertainment, 92.3 The Ranch, Pedrati's Ranch, and, of course, us here at the Backstage Pass, want to do some giveaways. And to do that, we need to bring some help on the program, a guy that has been in this industry for a long time. Please welcome in Rick Trevino to the Backstage Pass. Rick, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me out here. I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, it's a lot of fun too, as well. And like I said, Wade Hayes, I know has got some technical issues he's dealing with right now, so we're trying to get Wade on the program with us. If he does, we'll definitely put him on. But the show must go on, no doubt about it. Hey, coming up this week, Pedrati's Ranch in San Antonio, Texas. It's a Texas 90s concert and dance with yourself and Wade Hayes and a special guest, the Nick Lawrence Band. Saturday, April 2nd, doors at 5, concert starts at 6, and tickets are available for purchase at Full Circle Moments, LLC.com/tickets or on Facebook. We're going to have some trivia winners here in a little bit. But, hey, tell me how excited you guys are, again, to step back on stage, Rick, and do these type of shows. I mean, here we are in Texas. People are coming out having a good time again. And Pedrati's Ranch is a great place to go to watch a show.
Yeah, Wade is back. He was one of my label mates, and so we spent a lot of time together. When I think about Wade and I, even though I haven't seen him in about 15 or 20 years, brings back a lot of great memories because he's a great guy, a great artist, super good friend, and we did a lot of shows together back in the day. And I'm like I said, I feel very nostalgic, especially when my folks said that we'd be doing a show with Wade. So I'm really, really excited. I feel very, very. I've always been grateful to be able to play music for the past 30 years, and I think the past couple years has kind of crystallized that gratefulness because of the 1 year that we had where we weren't really able to go out and play very many shows. I mean, you go 20 something years of playing shows every year, 60, 70, 80 shows a year. And then you get hit with that big pandemic. And I think March 2 years ago, right about this time is when everything kind of shut down. And so I've had some it brings back a lot of memories. I remember we played the Austin Rodeo, the Houston Rodeo, and then everything shut down. South by Southwest shut down, the Houston Rodeo shut down, and then so on and so forth. We went and played probably a handful of gigs the whole year. And so starting last May is when everything started to normalize for me, being able to go out and play again. And I'm just, like I said, this particular time of year really crystallizes and reemphasizes the gratefulness that I have for being able to play music and, tour and record for the past 30 years. So I'm grateful to be out on the road, and it's going to be great to see Wade again.
When you think about that, and I asked Tracy when he came on the program about this one here, you think about 30 years in this industry and how much has changed from the 90s country sound to whatever they're calling it now. Like I said, a little bit of pop kind of thrown in there, a little bit of kind of Southern rock. I mean, it's great music for a lot of fans out there. And I guess during that layoff we had, and people kind of reflect on the career accomplishments they've had, yourself, the Grammy, things like that. Do you kind of look back and kind of have some talks with family and say, man, it's been 30 years?
Well, I've been really, really fortunate. I got to tell you, I was talking to my daughter the other night because she's a kind of an up and coming singer, and I said, you should learn Tennessee whiskey because she's more of an R&B. Going back to your point about how everything's kind of changed since the 90s, and I said, you should learn Tennessee whiskey, and she's more of a my daughter's more of like she's 16, but she's starting to play coffee shops and stuff, wineries and things like that. Just her and the piano, and she plays mostly R&B, kind of like Aretha Franklin, Carole King, Alicia Keys, uh, stuff like that. Piano vocalists, R&B, jazz. And I said, you should learn Tennessee Whiskey
Mm-hmm.
by Chris Stapleton. She goes, Dad, that's country. And I went, whoa, wait a second. Country is a lot. It's not just, Just Enough Rope and Bobby Ann Mason anymore. That's an R&B song that he's singing. That's the same chord progressions of an Etta James song. You can hear the chord progressions on a lot of the old R&B songs. That's an R&B record as much as it is a country record.
Mm-hmm.
And so I explained it to her. She was, oh, yeah, you're right. It's like this Etta James song that I was working on the other day. It's the Chris Stapleton sort of so it's like country's kind of wide open right now. And so that's kind of the things I like. I like that it's you've got guys like Stapleton and other artists that are kind of doing their own thing. And of course, there's always going to be uh, that sound where you've got to be real careful because the business side of mainstream country music can start to sound a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
the same. But at the same time, it's really not anybody's fault. They're just trying to sell records. But at the same time, there's always some purists out there that I really admire as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, it's changing, but it's 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 that's just the business. It's going to be commercial.
It is, and like you said, companies are going to do what they feel is best for their brand and to get things out there, and it's about moving records, it's about selling records, and yeah, you're right. That's the name of the game we're in now. Hey, I do want to make some winners on the show. Mention tickets again. The doors are going to be at 5 o'clock this week. Concerts at 6. Again, it's the Texas '90s concert and dance with Wade Hayes, Rick Trevino, and special guest the Nick Lawrence Band. So we got a couple of giveaways to do here. We're going to extend this deadline to Friday at 3 o'clock Central Time, which is Friday, April 1st at 3 o'clock Central Time. You can answer the questions on the Backstage Pass Facebook page or on the page with Full Circle Moments, LLC, which is out there. A good friend, Merlene Cox, put all this together. So we got 2 winners. They're going to be selected for 2 VIP packages that include 2 VIP tickets, meet and greet with Wade Hayes, and a swag bag with merchandise from both artists and, of course, the concert. So my first question is, without answering it here, is what year did Rick Trevino win a Grammy, and who did he collaborate with? So you got to answer it in the comment box on the page. The second question is going to be the original relationship. What was the original relationship between Wade Hayes and Rick Trevino? Again, the winner is going to be selected this week on Friday, April 1st at 3 o'clock. And, of course, we'll have those announcements to make here on the show. And, of course, Full Circle Moments, LLC.com/tickets or on Facebook out there, too, as well. Again, thanks to Full Circle Moments, Center Stage Magazine, Enabler Entertainment, 92.3 The Ranch, and Pedrati's Ranch, and us over here at the Backstage Pass. Hey, you talk about all those great songs of the 90s, and I got to see you play here in Beaumont, Texas a few years ago at a little place called Cactus Canyon, which is no longer here. But you guys put on one hell of a show. The crowds really get out there and just drink beer, have a good time, and sing to those classics. Man, when you think about those classics back then, you were fortunate enough to write, have a hand in, work with some great people, collaboration, Rick, with all those great songs. And I mean, today those are timeless classics for me that will live on forever. But one specifically I want to ask you about, Learning As You Go. I'm sure there's a good story for that one. Where'd it come from? Who'd you work with on that one too? And I'm sure you guys knew that when you had that song, you had something special, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was going into my third record or my third album, and Doug Johnson was producing the record. And I'd written a lot of songs with Larry Boone and Paul Nelson. We'd had a lot of writing sessions together, and that song came across the Doug's desk, and I listened to it right away, and it was like, whoa, that sounds like a hit record to me. I'm not going to pass up on that one. And so, yeah, that particular song is probably one of my favorite songs to play in the set. It never gets old. It gets the dance floor packed. We start the show with Just Enough Rope, which was my first single that came out. And then we do Honky Tonk Crowd, and then we play Learning As You Go. And it just gets the crowd on the dance floor, kind of sets the tone for the whole night. And yeah, I'm so glad that I cut that song. I think if you talk to anybody that that has had an opportunity to have a hit record on the radio. Every hit, you're just so grateful for. I don't have 50 number one records like George Strait, but I'm just happy to have a few top 10 records and a few number one records. It's like I said, I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very, very lucky for that. And learning as you go it's timeless. It really is.
Yeah. And I tell you another one too on there too is Dr. Time. I mean, Dr. Time had to be one of your favorite ones. You guys got to play it here, Bo, but it got the crowd going, no doubt about it. And that had to be fun to get in the studio to record that too at the same time.
Yeah, I remember that song when it was pitched. There was a regime change, so I had just been signed to Columbia, and my first single came out, Just Enough Rope, and the record company decided to fly me and the 4 or 5 major radio stations. It was KZLA, YNY, US 90. It was KZLA in LA, YNY New York, US 99 in Chicago, and it was a DFW station as well. I think it was called K-Plex at the time. And what they were trying to do was they flew all those major radio stations to Cancun, Mexico, and we did a showcase with all those kind of movers and shakers.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was flying in the air, I got a note from the head of Sony Records, Roy Once, who passed away. He was a good friend of mine who signed me to Columbia Records. He just passed away. And he said, I'm going to be leaving Sony, but you're going to be in good hands. Paul Worley and is going to be taking over Sony Records. So when I got to Cancun to do the showcase, that's when some of the producer pitched Dr. Time to me in my hotel room. And the rest is history. It ended up being, I guess it was my third single, because I know She Can't, Rope.
Mm-hmm.
And She Can't Say I Didn't Cry was also off of that record, and Dr. Time was on that record as well. So, yeah, one of my favorite songs.
We're going to come back here. Of course, we got a surprise here too as well. Wade Hayes is going to join us here on the Backstage Pass coming up here again. It's the big show coming up this Saturday night in Helotes, Texas, San Antonio area. I got married there, so I know that area very, very well out there. It's a big Texas 90s concert and dance with Wade Hayes, Rick Trevino, special guest at Nick Lawrence Band. Tickets available for purchase. Full Circle Moments, LLC.com /tickets, or on Facebook. And we're going to give away a couple of those prize packs. We'll come back with Wade Hayes and Rick Trevino here on the program here right now. Word from our sponsors, Bangtail Whiskey and MitchMacs. Hang tight, more to come.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
And back here on the program again is the Backstage Pass, and presented by Bangtail Whiskey and our good friends over at MitchMacs.com and Hank Jr. Productions. He's there with us, and the camera's on, and he's going to be putting on a hell of a show.
Hey,
Hayes.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Wade, how's it going, brother? Just good to have you here.
Glad to be here. Sorry about being late.
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. We're just sitting here giving away some tickets, and some 2 winners are going to be selected for 2 VIP packages, including 2 VIP tickets, meet and greet with yourself, Wade, and a swag bag with merchandise from you guys, from the artist, and, of course, the concert. We have 2 trivia questions out there. We're extending the deadline until Friday, April 1st at 3 o'clock, and those questions are on the Facebook page out there, too. Full Circle Moments and the Backstage Pass. The questions are, what year did Rick Trevino win a Grammy, and who did he collaborate with? And number 2, what was the original relationship between Wade Hayes and Rick Trevino. So make sure you guys go out there. We'd love to give away the prize pack and create a winner. Friday at 3 o'clock is the deadline. And we thank everybody out there, Full Circle Moments, Center Stage Magazine, Enabler Entertainment, 92.3 The Ranch, and Pedrati's Ranch, Friday, April 2nd. Doors at 5, concert at 6. So no doubt about it. It's going to be a fun night. Wish I could be there with you guys, but hey, I'm having my concert right now. No doubt about it. We're just talking to Rick about some of those great songs he put out there, 90s country. Wade, you such a huge part of that era when your first albums came out, and people know you from so many great songs. I guess during the layoff, did you kind of have time, Wade, to reflect a little bit on those past accomplishments and kind of look back and say, man, 90s country is starting to make a little bit of a comeback, and those songs, like I was telling Rick, are timeless classics.
Well, first off, I want to say, wait a minute, Rick, your record label sent you to Cancun?
Yeah.
What the? Wait a minute.
It was a little bit before you.
That kind of sucks. No, I'm great. No, that's great, man. I never knew that.
I think I might have sucked the budget out, and they didn't have any money for you.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. That's great. But to answer your question, by the way, hello, Rick. It's really good to see you. And Brandon, thank you for having me on the show, man. Over the break, yeah, definitely, I had the best year on paper coming up that I'd had since back when I went through some medical stuff, and it took a long time to get built back up, and had the best year coming up that I'd had since then. And all of a sudden COVID hits and everything gets canceled. So I'm sitting at home for most of 2020, and it was pretty stinky, but very, very happy to be back on the scene and getting to play. This year has gotten really, really busy. And like you'd mentioned, 90s country's made a huge resurgence, and it's not only country, but other genres as well. I was talking to some guys that played in the group Better Than Ezra at the airport the other day, and they were saying the same thing. It's just slamming for them. So it's great news for us.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring up a couple of those real quick. And I want to know, because I know you've had a hand in writing a lot of great songs. I mean, Old Enough to Know Better. What I meant to say, The Day She Left Tulsa, just a few titles that really, you turn on that Sirius XM Prime Country or anything out there that's coming on now that people can stream or listen to. And these are constant songs that are played over and over again. Did you guys know, Wade, I guess in the sense when you kind of got these tunes, whether, like I said, you wrote them or it was a co-write or you got in the studio to do work with it, that these were special songs that, could be something, not just be chart topping type songs, but these are going to resonate with people for many years to come.
Well, I knew that they resonated with me, especially Old Enough to Know Better. All that early stuff, we didn't even do demos on them. I just took a guitar in and played them for the band, and we cut them for the first time right there. And I'll never forget, especially Old Enough to Know Better. I had played him the song, and Rob Hadjakis, the fiddle player, was monkeying around out in the studio, and he started sawing that intro lick with the fiddle. And I blazed a trail out into the studio just to say, that's it. That's the intro of the song. You got to play that. And it really, really resonated with me, and I hoped it would with other people, but I'm very thankful that it did.
It's no doubt. And Rick, I know you had so many of those great hits that we talked about. One I had to ask you about too, with the writing and just the lyrics there. I mean, you talked about it, you guys playing a part of the set. Bobby Ann Mason is, again, one you turn on the radio stations today, the classic country or even the modern day country they're playing today, or the mix of 90s till now. Again, one of those songs that had to be fun to work on, and the lyrics really connect with people in so many ways.
Yeah, that particular song, what's the sign of a great song is if it's timeless. And for me, as a 22, 23, 24-year-old, when I first recorded the song, which didn't make the first album, we ended up, the label didn't want it on the first album, we ended up putting it on the second album. But I'd been playing it live with my band, and actually the record that you hear on the radio is we used the demo that my band recorded. It was a live recording. Mm-hmm. But the lyric itself it's funny because here I am 30 years later, and the lyric means a little bit something different to me. It's like when I first was playing it was like, yeah, Bobby Ann Mason, that cool chick back in high school. And now I play it and I feel like I'm saying, you can't take those memories away from me. I might be getting a little bit white here in the beard, but I still keep those memories of Bobby and Mason, and everybody can relate to it, and it's just a sign of a great song.
Yeah, no doubt. And I tell you, as as much as we talk about the hits, Wade, you guys put together a great project, 2019. The album, I got a chance to get out there. Who Saved Who? And thought you guys did a great job from top to bottom on that whole album, Beautiful Mess, and of course the title track itself, and then Ask That Girl to Dance were just a few of my favorites off of there. Talk about just going in the studio and putting out music again to fans who keeping things out there, whether it be full-length albums or singles, and keeping that connection with fans.
Well, just because, like Rick had mentioned, I got some great chin whiskers myself, and I'm not current on the radio. You don't quit writing songs and you don't quit singing. I still love to do that, and every couple of years or so, I go through my notebook and find the ones that suck the least, and go in the studio and record them. And that song, Who Saved Who, the title track off that last album, every word to that song is true. And it's about this old dog I picked up at a filling station one night, and in the middle of the night, and brought him home, and he was a stray, and nursed him back to health. And he was with me about 10 years. And I loved him very much. And a lot of people really connect with that song, love dogs like I did. So
I love it. It's got stuff. And I tell you, the other way that stood out for me back in the 90s, the day that she left Tulsa, man, it doesn't get much more country than that, right?
That song is one that I did not write, but it was, very, very catchy intro lick on the fiddle again as well. And just a very intelligent lyric. And it's a tragic song, but it's a really, really good song. And just, I was very, very fortunate to get to record that one.
I'll say this, Rick. I've seen you both guys play live, and y'all put on some fantastic shows. I got to catch you early in my radio career down here in Texas when I was working for some call letters back then. But what can kind of fans expect, Rick? This week with the Nick Lawrence Band right there, and you guys taking the stage. I know Pedrati's is a great venue to get out there and enjoy some live music. Of course, they do a lot of other things, weddings, and it's just a great outdoor venue. What can kind of fans expect? I guess a lot of these songs we're talking about, and maybe some new stuff that'll surprise them, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been making records here in Austin and just kind of putting stuff out on my own. And there's 3 new songs that I've kind of just been doing it, promoting for the past 4 or 5 years, a video, and then we have, of course, we'll play all the hits, and then we'll play some stuff from the Low Super 7 project, and it's always a lot of fun. There's one particular section in the set that I've been really proud of. It's a kind of a tribute section where I pay tribute to some of my musical heroes, 2 or 3 songs. It just depends. And we've been doing that for 30 years, and some of the songs have changed through the years, but I always like doing that part of the show. I always enjoy that a bunch. And that's about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing Wade. I hadn't seen my old label mate in a long time, so
Matt, I'll tell you
looking forward to catching up.
I was just about to say that. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you. And I was tickled to death when I saw that you were on the bill. And it's been a long, long time. I think the last show we did together was probably out in Las Vegas. It was a long time ago. But a lot of things. Bob Mitchell comes to mind. Remember Bob?
Yep.
I know you do.
Yeah. And, I talked to him recently. We text. We still text.
Oh yeah, we do too. He's a great guy. But I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I'm looking forward to get down to Texas. I love it down there. I still play down there a lot. So, although I'm from Oklahoma, you guys don't hold it against me.
Well, I tell you what, Rick and I get along so well because I love that Aggie hat he's got on, and I know that I got to throw it in there too because Rick, this question gets asked to me a lot too, being a sports fanatic and a guy who hosted a sports show for a lot of years. But they have the #1 recruiting class in football. Jimbo's the right guy. What's your expectations on Aggie football, Rick, this fall? This is gonna be fun.
Man, I would like to see a national championship in my lifetime. That's all. I just want to see one. That would be nice. That's all. Just one in my lifetime.
It's gonna be fun. Wade, college football wise, so they're, I guess, Oklahoma State, the Sooners. What do you follow college football?
Well, I grew up about 26 miles from the OU campus.
Okay.
I didn't go to college there, but I couldn't afford it. But I did always, watch. It's the thing there in that area is watching the Sooners play football. So of course I follow them.
I love it too. I was just out in Arizona. I was telling Rick they're huge Astros fan. Love baseball too. I was watching the Rangers in spring training out there in Arizona in Scottsdale at Talking Stick, the Salt River Fields out there. Any baseball, Rick? Is it Rangers, Astros?
Well, I'm a big time baseball fan, and I would love watching baseball. In fact, I'll go sometimes at least once or twice a year. I'll go to the high school here. It's a Lake Travis High School and just watch a game. I grew up loving the Texas Longhorn coach Cliff Gustafson. That was kind of my thing when I was growing up. Of course, then I went to A&M and walked on as a walk on, and but I love baseball. I love the Yankees. I love the Dodgers. I like the teams with history, the Giants. So I'm so ready for baseball season to start. I'm mad that they're not starting on April 1st, But and I think the Aggies, the Aggies and the Longhorns are playing tonight at Dish Falk Field here in Austin.
Ooh.
That's going to be pretty intense. I won't get to watch it, or I won't get sold out, but I'll probably try to watch it on the Longhorn Network tonight.
Any baseball for you, Wade? What's your favorite team?
Oh yeah, I've followed the Braves for many, many years, and I've been down to see them many times. Sang the national anthem there, but of course I love the Astros too. Big fan, and have been for many years. But baseball to me, it just means the end of winter, and summer's coming, and it's a very exciting time. It's always great, and I hate October when baseball ends because it means winter's coming, and summer's over. But I kind of base my year on that.
I love it, man. I can't wait. Like I said, April 7th is opening day. And of course, I'm just glad we have this guy by the name of Justin Verlander, Rick, back on the hill for us in Houston. So
it'd be good.
It's going to help us.
The big guy can throw it.
He can hum it, man. He had that Tommy John surgery, and he's still hitting 96 on the gun. And I think he struck out. I was looking at some stats today too, Wade. He struck out, and Rick too. He struck out 6 guys in 3 innings. I mean, it was just popping.
And who's going to shortstop now that Correa's in Minnesota?
They have a young prospect by the name of, it's a 3rd-round pick in 2018. His name is Jeremy Pena. He's got a good glove. He's had a decent spring so far, but he's going to be the rookie getting thrown in the fire. So Jeremy Pena is, and of course they've got Aledmus Diaz and a guy they signed from Detroit named Nico Goodrum, who's another platoon player, but Pena's the guy to step up and get it done. So
who doesn't love Altuve? Everybody.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun too. Again, I'm going to put the trivia questions out there. Again, the show's coming up this Saturday night at Pedrati's Ranch in San Antonio, Texas. Thanks to Full Circle Moments, Center Stage Magazine, Enabler Entertainment, 92.3 The Ranch, Pedrati's Ranch, and of course us here at the Backstage Pass. And those trivia questions are: what year did Rick Trevino win a Grammy, and who did he collaborate with? And number 2, what was the original relationship between Wade Hayes and Rick Trevino? If you've paid attention, you could go answer that one now in the comment box.
Yeah, I didn't.
Brandon might have blown that one.
Probably blown that one.
It's all good. We want to create some winners. That's it. Full Circle Moments Facebook page or on the Backstage Pass Facebook page. Deadline is Friday at 3:00, and it's the Texas 90s Concert and Dance with headliners Wade Hayes, Rick Trevino, and the Nick Lawrence Band. Doors at 5 this Saturday night, April 2nd. Concert starts at 6. You can also purchase tickets if you don't win them here, courtesy of the show at Full Circle Moments LLC.com/tickets or on Facebook out there too at the same time. Well, I'll tell you what, hey, to wrap this up, I love doing a rapid fire, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth with each of you, and this is kind of to get to know you more on a personal basis. So Rick, we'll start right here. What's kind of the go-to food or the go-to drink when you're having just one of those rough days? What do you have to have?
Just some red wine and a I don't know, man. Salsa.
That's good. Chips and salsa. I'm on it too, man. It's a nice Taco Tuesday anyway, which is good. Wade, what about you?
Coffee is always the thing for me. I love it. And as far as like a favorite food, this is my kind of guilty pleasure. I get to do it once a month. And it is a Whataburger cheeseburger with jalapenos. It is my favorite thing on this planet. And I will be having one this weekend, my friend. Yeah. You can bet on it. I've been saving up.
That's the
I don't
best.
blame you. That's good stuff out there. All right, let's do this one because I love having fun with this. What was the first car you ever owned, Rick? Getting into the business, what was your first car?
It was a 1979 Ford Granada.
Okay,
Just
I like that.
$500. I bought it.
Yeah, get you from point A to point B. Wait, what about you? First car you ever owned?
I had two of them at the same time, and I just bought them from friends. One was a '68 Chevrolet pickup, and the other one was a '77 El Camino. And my dad loved me trashing up the yard with them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, we'll do this. When you're not doing music, your favorite hobby is what?
Well, I like to whitetail deer hunt.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
It's Texas, baby. If you don't love it, you're not in the game.
Oh,
Wade,
yeah.
when you're not doing music, what's the kind of the hobbies that go to other fun stuff?
I kind of flip houses here in Tennessee. I grew up building houses with my dad. He was a contractor, so I still mess around with him. That's a pretty serious hobby with me. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we have some cows out here too. I have a little farm, raise cattle, so east of Nashville. So those two things keep me pretty busy.
All right, I love this one. This is the pizza question we ask here. So
Oh.
let's say the family's doing a pizza night, Rick, and I know for me, there's different tastes in the household. So the wife has to get this, kid has to eat this, and I got to have certain toppings on mine. If you get separate pizzas and it's just for Rick Trevino and nobody else can have a slice, so what toppings go on the pizza, Rick?
I put everything on it. Meat, vegetables, jalapenos, everything. I just put everything on it.
Yes. Now
Oh,
we're
dear.
talking the Supreme. That's exactly
Yep,
what I get
Supreme.
too. Yes, sir.
That's your Supreme? Okay. And,
Oh, yeah.
And if they try to reach for something, you just give them a little slap on the hand and say,
Oh, yeah.
get out of there. That's
Yeah.
I'm
Draw
gonna have
back a
two.
nub. Yeah.
as well. Well, I tell you, it's going to be a fun show coming up this weekend, Saturday night, Pedrati's Ranch in San Antonio, Texas. Hey, I got married there, so if I was in San Antonio, get out there, have a fun time. Thanks to Full Circle Moments, Center Stage Magazine, Enabler Entertainment, 92.3 The Ranch, and of course Pedrati's, and you can win it out there. We've given away an answer, the original relationship between Wade and Rick, and of course, what year did Rick Trevino win a Grammy? And who did he collaborate with? Winner will be announced on the Full Circle Moments Facebook page Friday, April 1st at 3 o'clock, and also on the Backstage Pass Facebook page. Leave the comments, the answers to the questions in the comment box. 2 winners selected for 2 VIP packages, 2 VIP tickets, meet and greet with Wade, and a swag bag and merchandise from the artist. Thanks to Merlene Cox and everybody putting this together. Guys, have a great show. Appreciate the time here and the visit here on the Backstage Pass, 2 of the big names to do it in the business for 25 and 30 years. Rick, Wade, appreciate the time, and my friends come back anytime here. Would love to chat again.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
You got it.
See y'all in a few days. Yeah, I'll see you in a few days.
April 2nd, San Antonio, Texas. Again, thanks to all the sponsors for making it happen. Also to Bangtail Whiskey, MitchMacs.com, and our good friends over at Hank Jr. Productions. We'll see you guys Saturday night, Pedrati's Ranch with Wade Hayes and Rick Trevino with a special guest, the Nick Lawrence Band. We'll talk to you soon. And tomorrow, 4 o'clock on the Backstage Pass right here again. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you soon. Have a great night.
Adios.